Morning time right now is 5:09. Let's talk about Vision Zero. This is a plan in Nashville that is supposed to bring the death toll on our roads in Nashville specifically down to zero. And a big part of this is making things safer for bikers and pedestrians.
Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey is joining us live in Midtown and Music Row, where, Johnny, recently there were a lot of changes implemented at a very busy roundabout. I know that area very well, and yes, it is super busy.
Yeah, that's right. So we're by Demonbreun and Music Square, those two roads over here right now. And a lot of the changes, well, you see a lot of these flex cones popping up around here. That's why they call them flex cones, of course, if you're in an area that doesn't have these. But a lot of viewers were asking me, well, why did they reduce some of these lanes over here? Because this lane onto Music Square West, and you can get to part of Midtown that way too, it was changed down to one lane, and then of course there's Demonbreun over there, and you can get to Broadway here too, which is why we talked to Metro Councilor Jacob Coupin about this, because it is technically his jurisdiction on the Metro Council maps. And what he was telling me is, well, this is all in hopes to make things safer for the bikers and pedestrians, but he does realize that there is some congestion over here, so he talked about actually a way to reduce that, and we heard from a biker as well.
Doing one block at a time is great for that block, but if we are actually going to make bicycling a safe way for people to get around, you have to have a network.
One of the efforts I would love to see is really getting that interstate traffic off of Demonbreun as a whole. What happens is during rush hour, this becomes an interstate ramp, right? This becomes an extended interstate entrance ramp.
And so another thing I asked Coupin and that biker who you just heard from, who was a part of getting this thing off the ground really, was right here in this lane. Luckily there's no cars right now, but the bikers, they need to cross over the road and then they need to exit, as opposed to just staying to the right away from everything. They did acknowledge that that wasn't ideal, so just be aware, be careful as these new changes are popping up around Nashville. Live in Nashville, Johnny Maffey, guys, back to you.